Hello, friends. Today's story is about Helen Keller, the angel of fortitude. Helen Keller was born on June 27, 1880, in Alabama, US. As a child, she was very beautiful and vicious, and her family believed that a bright and promising future lay ahead of her. However, life had a different story written for her. When she was 1.5 years old, Helen suddenly fell ill, and the fever was so intense that she lost her ability to see, hear, and speak forever. This was undoubtedly an unexpected blow that life had delivered to the little girl, but the ability to endure such hardship and emerge victorious is the essence of the human spirit. Allowing the misfortunes of life to push you into despondency and despair, or getting alarmed by these tribulations and seeking refuge or assurance, is definitely not the sign of a genuine human being. So rather than recede into her cocoon or plunge headlong into gloom, Helen marshaled her inner strength and remained resilient in the face of a storm. Despite losing her sense of sight, speech, and hearing, she made efforts to lead a normal life. With her mother's help, she learned to perceive and understand the world around her and even started learning sign language. Using these newly acquired skills and understanding, she gradually began to communicate with everyone around her. For instance, she shook her head from side to side, it means no, and if she bobbed her head up and down, it meant yes. By the time she turned 4, Helen also began helping her mother with the household chores, and folding clothes became her favorite task. She soon developed a sharp acumen and could easily identify her own clothes from the heap of clothes belonging to the entire family. It was during this time that she became good friends with Martha, the daughter of the cook, and her pet dog. In the company of her new friends, Helen's life took on new meaning, and with their assistance, she began strolling in the garden and exploring cow sheds. For Helen, this was far more blissful experience than the promise of an imaginary paradise in heaven. To be able to communicate better with each other, Helen and Martha began devising and practicing new gestures. For instance, whenever Helen wanted to eat an ice cream, she would act as she was shivering with cold, and Martha would immediately fetch her an ice cream. Slowly but surely, Helen began discovering the little joy that life had to offer, making the little girls easier. When Helen was 7 years old, her mother, noticing her daughter's talents, decided that Helen would acquire formal education. Always eager to experience new things and progress in life, Helen was thrilled and looked after to embark on this new journey in her life. Soon, a 20-year-old teacher named Annie was hired to teach Helen at home. Annie's priority was to ensure that Helen recognized objects by name. To achieve this objective, she would place the object in one of the Helen's palm, and on her other palm she would spell out letter of the word with her fingers. But was it possible for Helen, who could not hear, see, or even speak, to understand all this? Indeed, it was, for Helen was blessed with extraordinary unique qualities and quickly understood Annie's method of teaching. One day, while she was playing with water from a hand pump, Annie quickly ran to her, grabbed her hand, and wrote the letter water repeatedly on her palm. Helen finally understood that this cool liquid falling on her hand was water. Thereafter, there was no stopping her, learning by running her fingers across words embossed on cardboard. Helen steadily progressed in her studies. It was due to her zeal and inborn talent that she quickly learned innumerable words. The magic of the written words continued to weave the spell on her, and within no time she even began reading books with the help of words. embossed on boards. Seeing her rapid progress in academics, her family and friends were not surprised when she successfully passed high school, enrolled in a university, and even completed her graduations. Helen's spirit and talent did not go unnoticed, and the entire world acknowledged and saluted her. Almost overnight, she had become the most talked about young woman in the world. But now that she had overcome her disabilities, the desire to spread her wings and soar higher to achieve greater heights consumed her. So Helen learned to use the typewriter. Once she had mastered the skill of using a typewriter, she never looked back. Helen becomes possessed by a desire to express her thoughts and ideas, and using her typewriter commenced on her journey as a writer. Her proficiency with the written word and her passion to give wings to her thoughts were reflected in the 12 books she authored during her lifetime. A girl who could not see, hear, or speak had succeeded in communicating her thoughts and emotions to the world through words. Clearly, this feat was nothing sort of miracle, but Helen was not the one to rest of her laurels. Now that she had begun to easily communicate with world, she soon learned to she she soon learned of the deplorable condition of millions of people like her who had lost their sensory faculties. She made it her life mission to help such people overcoming their disabilities. In order to achieve this goal, she put her heart and soul into learning how to express words by miming. At the age of 66, Helen added another feather to her cap, and the facety, dynamic woman traveled all over the world. In the next 11 years, she traveled to many of the 35 countries. Now, that was certainly a whirlwind world tour for Helen. Whenever Helen went, she was not only facilitated by the presidents and prime ministers of those countries, but even eminent personalities made a beeline to meet her. A beacon of light and hope for these and similar challenges, Helen continued to be a source of inspiration to the world. She worked with zeal and fervor up to the ages of 88 when she finally bid adieu to the world, leaving behind a trail of achievements that will be written in letters of gold in the annals of human history. Moral of the story: during Helen Keller's lifetime, until her last breath, she had accomplished her life's mission. She has left an indelible mark on the world through her indefatigable spirit and work. Her exemplary life is shining example of what a human spirit can achieve with resilience and determination. Indeed, life throws many curveballs on in our path, but then isn't this what life is all about? Being daunted by challenges and meekly accepting defeat does not befit a human being. Seeking refuge in mosques, temples, and churches for solace to overcome those difficulties are all futile attempts that lead man nowhere. A human being became the master of his life when he overcomes advertises with the invisible spirit and proactive attitude. But a human being is easily daunted by the most inconsequential challenges that life throws at him. Even negligible losses in business, minor illness, and petty squabbles with loved ones are enough to take us spiraling down into a vortex of gloom and despair. We then rush to mosques and temples and grovels at the feet of the priest, asking them to redress our problems and alleviate our sufferings. From colored threads to amulets, we wear them with intense devotion, little realizing that we have become bound to them and blindly following their dictates as they are the word of God. Helen, however, did not resort to such solutions, neither did she become depressed and despondent, nor did she complain to God. Moreover, she did not curse her destiny, nor did she seek reassurance from priest. She forged ahead with the indomitable strength of the human spirit that God has bestowed upon every human being. Let us all acknowledge and accept Helen Keller as an angel of fortitude and make a promise to ourselves that whenever we encounter adversity in life, we will remember Helen's difficulties and her indomitable spirit to surmount them. No matter what kind of difficulty or setback rears its ugly head in life, it can never be worse than losing the ability to see, speak, and hear. So let us consider our difficulties as minor setbacks and with the strength of our spirit overcome them. Even every human being should make this pledge, otherwise, untiring efforts of the angel of fortitude will have been wasted. Thank you.